Welcome everyone, and welcome this month to the dining room. But this is the one place at the moment where the internet seems to be behaving itself. Some of you may be aware we're in the midst of an office facelift, so everything is out of the office, and it's had a good decorate and lots of new power sockets put in, which is great. And tomorrow the carpet's going to be laid in the office and in the hall. In addition, of course, we've got the builders finishing off their work on the studio, and Pete and Paul, who are associated with Bradwell, are going to be arriving later today, and from tomorrow they're going to be re-landscaping where the builders have turned it into a bit of a building site. They're going to turn it back into lovely grounds again for us. So, and we really hope that it won't be too long before we can really invite you into this room once again. So, who are we here? Can we introduce ourselves?
Yes, I'm Tony. You can see I'm actually wearing a sample of the new office carpet, and the theme being plant life.
I'm Kate.
I'm Gavin, a partner.
And Robin is doing all the tech stuff.
Hello.
So you can't see her, but gosh, she's vital. So, and Louise Heatley has been a great help working with me on planning this evening's One World Worship. Unfortunately, she's got a better offer. She's having tea with a bishop this afternoon down in Cornwall. An old friend of hers from Larsh has become one of the bishops in Cornwall. So hope she's having a lovely time there. So our broad theme for our One World Worship today is life. And thank you to all of you who have sent in contributions, photos and poems. And if you have something that you'd like to share but haven't sent it yet, don't worry, there will be the opportunity. So we'll come to that a little bit later. So now I'm going to ask Kate to light our candle in the circle of friends. Thank you. And I'm going to hand over to Tony, who's going to introduce a song.
Before we sing, I'll just mention that the door's open here because of the temperature. I dare say you've got your windows and doors open as well. If we have a great cavalcade of motorcycles past during the song, we're the song and they aren't. Anyway. So, this is from the Othona Psalms. In this case, not one of the Psalms of David. This is actually texts taken from the Dhammapada, one of the best-known Buddhist scriptures, set both the words and music by Colin Hodgetts. But the refrain is "Let us live joyfully." So for a theme of life, we thought we'd sing this one to you. There will be a song later on that you can all join in. So, let us live joyfully, loving among those who hate. With those who hate, let us live in love. Never does hate conquer hate. Hate is conquered by love. This is the golden rule, the law of the Spirit. Let us live joyfully, peaceful among those who fight. With those who fight, let us live in peace. Sinning seems sweet to the fool, till reaction brings pain. Bitter the fruits of wrong, the fool must consume them. Let us live joyfully, though we call nothing our own. Like gods of light, let us live in joy. Health is a pearl without price, and contentment great wealth. Joy is to live in trust, and bliss is the kingdom. Let us live joyfully, overcome anger with love, face falsehood's charms with the light of truth, overcome evil with good. From the little you have, give to the one who asks, and enter God's presence.
So, I said there'd be time for contributions, and we're moving into the first of those sessions now. And I'm going to hand over to Tony, who's going to begin with one that's been sent in.
Well, this quote has been sent by Jane Rodway. Jane says, it's from All's Well That Ends Well, not her favourite Shakespeare play by a long chalk, possibly her least favourite, but probably Shakespeare's most ironic title, she felt. But she loves this quote. The web of our life is of a mingled yarn, good and ill together. Our virtues would be proud if our faults whipped them not, and our crimes would despair if they were not cherished by our virtues. Well, I'm going to invite now any of you, there are, as Liz said, there are going to be two opportunities for you to unmute and offer to read something into this evening's worship. Is there anybody who's feeling ready now to read something? Just unmute and speak up if you'd like to. Tell us who you are first.
You're unmuted.
Hello, my name's Jane. Can you hear me?
Sure.
This is my partner, Catherine, and I've written a poem, but I think I should just give it a tiny bit of context. So a fortnight ago, we should have got married on the East Coast in Felixstowe, where we live. We should have gone to the town hall for the legal bits and then gone up the cliff to our lovely inclusive church for a celebration with lots and lots of friends and tea afterwards, and then gone on to the golf club for a dinner and dancing. But it all got postponed. So I woke up that morning feeling a little bit flat, but inspired to write something rather tongue-in-cheek about how I felt. Beloved Catherine, my dear old thing, our wedding's postponed, blamed COVID-19. No legal bonding at the town hall, no blessing, hymns, nor tea for all. No golf club dinner, no dancing tonight. But we are together, our future is bright. We have our health, our view is a delight. Our faith is strong. This crisis will pass. Next year we will wed. It will be with class. And because we love deeply, the sun will shine, the sea will sparkle, and you will be mine.
Jane, thank you. And Catherine, thank you also for sitting there and being read to in that way. That's
I
great.
love it.
Thank you, and certainly look forward to that day next year for you. Now, is there somebody else who'd like to read a contribution at the moment? Is that Sue?
Yes, it is Sue, yes.
Sue House. Yeah, over to you, my dear.
Okay. So during this sort of period of lockdown, or the period of when we were in lockdown, I've been with the sort of creative writing teacher that in a group I'm in. She has sort of each week given us a word, and just to write sort of something, 200 words around the theme of the word. So this has got me going. And anyhow, this word for this poem was dedication. And it's called Dedication to a Dragonfly. How delightful to sit by the banks of a gentle flowing stream and watch the dragonflies dressed like turquoise iridescent helicopters dart and hover. Devoted to duty in their dedicated mission, transparent diaphanous wings reflect the sunlight, accompanied by floating dandelion seeds that have become airborne like tiny feathery fairies. Briefly, the dragonfly's mission is accomplished and overhanging grasses offer a platform from which they can descend to lay their eggs. Butterflies pass by more calmly, searching for respite in higher branches away from the midday heat. These treasured moments that unfold before me can so easily be missed in the frantic busyness of my mind. The unhurried stream that finds its way through fallen branches and rocky outcrops moves onward towards an open sea. How delicious the food is laid out before me. And like the dragonfly's eggs, all I need is to allow it to hatch and grow.
Sue, thank you very much. I know some of us in this room have seen more dragonflies this summer together and in different places than ever before, haven't we? And a wonderful insect called the beautiful demoiselle, which I'd never seen in England before, only abroad, and have seen this summer. Now, is there somebody else bursting to read at this moment? I'm going to invite then, Kate has something to read for us. I don't know if this was sent in by somebody in particular.
Well, no. As I said, we've been taking everything out of the office, and what Kate is going to read out now, and you will see in the PowerPoint show in a minute as well, is something that has probably been on the office wall for a long, long time. And you know what it's like. There's something there, and you never really look at it. So as I was taking it down, I thought, so this will be my contribution. And Kate will tell you the title and who has written it before she gives the reading.
Okay. The True Meaning of Life by the 14th Dalai Lama. We are visitors on this planet. We are here for 90 years or 100 years at the very most. During that period, we must try to do something good, something useful with our lives. If you contribute to other people's happiness, you will find the true goal, the true meaning of life.
Thank you, Kate, very much. So we're going to have the PowerPoint that I've put together, and thank you so much to all of you who've contributed photos that sort of say something about life to you. It's been really good to receive them, and so we'll see a series of the photos, and it'll be we'll lead into our time of reflection and prayer, and that we'll be guided through that by further photos. So it's all part of the PowerPoint. So now I'm going to do my most complicated techie bit, sharing my screen with you all. So bear with me.
Somebody else.
Sure, sure. Few familiar faces. So, moving to our time for reflections and prayers. And we'll have a series of photos. This first one, the death of John Hume reminded me of the marvellous work for peace that he did. So perhaps we can just pray in the silence, reflect on those who work for peace. And for the many places in our world where help and rescue are needed. Thinking of the people of Beirut and the carers who've done such sterling work, and also those being cared for, we bring to mind. Giving thanks for our beautiful natural world. The Dalai Lama, and this is a photo of him here, talked about contributing to happiness. Perhaps we can bring to mind people who've contributed to our happiness or other situations. And just time now at the end to bring to mind our own concerns and thanksgivings in the quiet. And from our point of view here at Othona, we'd like to include Ian Todd, who was a friend of Othona here and a volunteer. And we heard recently that he'd just died. And also Tony Sinden, whose funeral was last Thursday, a long-time Othona friend and trustee. And we remember also Deanna's friend, Avril, who has died. So silence now for your own thoughts and prayers.
Sun on one sec.
So we're going to move into the second slice of contributions. And once again, I'm going to hand over to Tony for this part.
I have something to read here. This was written and sent in by Ty Hayden. and he entitles it Creation's Myth. This theatre, what a roller coaster. By force of nature, we're absorbed. How the sieve filters. The East says, sure as a sunrise, this is a precious life. Who can escape the net, learning how the lattice works? The years go by in a dream, it seems. How are we accounting numbers, the greatest constant, in perfect equation, abstract infinities? How are we grafting as persons to give the integers intimate meaning? Laying the world's phenomenon as a sounding board. Are we squared, feet well rooted, going upwards in the spiral? To touch upon the infinite, give me the archetypes. This archer stretched the fletch, knocking on the target's center. To open doors that matter across the span of time, to fill the archives of my story with those perennials hinted at by Jungian quicksilver, not to be lost in illusion. Then the bud from the root will truly flower. I will listen delicately, like a Mahatma, to the nightjar. Watch its angle through the branches, through the services of the velvet senses, to become the master of what is actually delicious. Ride the notes in between to find the lost chord. Understand that gap. It can be like a void of soul's success, succeeding to the ultimate goal. Who in the masquerade sees the difference between fake and real? Thank you for that time. And I know that Mary Shaver has something to read to us, but before Mary does that, there's a chance for any of the rest of you. Are there people out there? There can be any number, don't worry. Don't feel there's only room for one or two. If you have something ready to read to us, please unmute and speak up now. I'm looking at a screen with faces of about 24 of you. I can't see everybody. There may be one or two off that screen.
Hello, I've got a Celtic prayer for you.
Ah, Anna. This is Anna Newton, I think.
Yes.
Anna.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. If you speak loud and clear, we can hear you, and you're offering us a Celtic prayer. Thank you. Go ahead.
I've been looking at different denominational prayers, and this one from the Celtic prayer book I really like very much. May God's blessings surround you and love fill your hearts. May Christ walk beside you and never depart. Holy Spirit, keep faithful and strong to the end, and the stars light your pathway and sweet blessings descend. Could you hear it?
Yes. We could. Thank you very much, Anna. Now, is there somebody else before I invite Mary to speak?
I have got a favourite Mary Oliver that I'd quite like to read. That's Catherine on Jane's
Catherine,
yes.
Only if it's not the poem called The Summer Day.
No, it's not.
In that case, please.
When I am among the trees. Is that allowed?
Absolutely. The other one would be allowed. I'll explain later why I was censoring the other one. Please go ahead, Catherine.
Well, I think the background to this is that I have been able to get out and walk quite a lot among the trees, and this is a Mary Oliver poem about doing just that. When I am among the trees, especially the willows and the honey locust, equally the beech, the oaks and the pines, they give off such hints of gladness, I would almost say that they save me and daily. I am so distant from the hope of myself, in which I have goodness and discernment and never hurry through the world. but walk slowly and bow often. Around me, the trees stir in their leaves and call out, stay a while. The light flows from their branches, and they call again. It's simple, they say, and you too have come into the world to do this, to go easy, to be filled with light and to shine.
Catherine, thank you very much indeed. Is there anyone else, please, before I invite Mary?
Well, I don't want to upstage Mary, but she said maybe I should show a video. I mean, not a video, but a photograph. I have lots of videos, but they don't go too well when you share them on Zoom. But I have a sunset picture from our balcony in Paris when we were there, if you'd like to see that.
By all means.
Yes.
Please, Rob.
Okay. Oops. That's interesting. That's the picture I have in my background on my, but it's not the one I intended to share. That's interesting. So much for technology. Let's see here.
You should share your whole screen and not just one application, which you seem to have done.
Yes, I intended to. Let's see. The thing that I tried to share did not. Let's try this. No, it's not coming up. That's interesting. I don't think I've tried this before, and it's not working. So. Oh well, but that background is one of the many. I mean, it's let's see if there's anything else. I'm trying different things. Oh, there it is. Well, that is the view from our balcony. It's a beautiful shot with the Eiffel Tower in the background. And while we were in lockdown, I took a lot of pictures from the balcony, a lot of time-lapse videos and things like that, which was fun.
I remember saw one of your time-lapse videos. Wonderful, wonderful. Rob, thank you very much. Is there anybody else wanting to make a contribution before I call on Rob's wife, Mary? Oh, is Carol Atkins waving? Carol, do unmute yourself.
Yes, I'm unmuted. I'll share a piece by John O'Donoghue. This is the time to be slow. Lie low to the wall until the bitter weather passes. Try as best you can not to let the wire brush of doubt scrape from your heart all sense of yourself and your hesitant light. If you remain generous, time will come good, and you will find your feet again on fresh pastures of promise, where the air will be kind and blushed with beginning.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. Lush in the beginning. I remember I noticed two people had photographed a pink rainbow, that wonderful pink rainbow that in the sequence that Liz showed us earlier. Anybody else, please, before we turn to the other half of the Shaver household? Just give me a wave if you'd like to contribute. Well, I can't see you all. Just unmute and speak if you'd like to contribute. I'm getting used to this. I'm going to get the hang of this, you know, a few months more. I might get the hang of it. Okay. Well, Mary and Rob Shaver live in Austin, Texas, which is where I think you are now. But they spent 11 months staying in Paris, during which time they'd hoped to travel more than they were eventually able to, because, of course, the last couple of months, Mary, Rob, something like that, was taken up by lockdown, including the time when Mary was due to be actually leading a weekend here. And one of the things we'd looked forward to, as well as seeing them both again during that weekend, was to be Mary's really feeling relationship, I think, with a particular poet's work. So, Mary, over to you, please.
Thank you so much, Tony. Yes, we actually canceled 2 trips to Othona in the spring. So, so this poem is "The Summer Day" by Mary Oliver. And I know you know it and can probably recite along with me, but it is so powerful.
Can you speak up a little bit, Mary?
Okay.
Thanks.
Who made the world? Who made the swan and the black bear? Who made the grasshopper? This grasshopper, I mean, the one who has flung herself out of the grass, the one who is eating sugar out of my hand, who's moving her jaws back and forth instead of up and down, who is gazing around with her enormous and complicated eyes. And now she lifts her pale forearms thoroughly and washes her face. Now she snaps her wings open and floats away. I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I do know how to pay attention, how to fall down into the grass, how to kneel down in the grass, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the fields, which is what I've been doing all day. Tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everything die at last and too soon? Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life?
Thank you, Mary. Thanks to the late Mary Oliver. It was the summer day.
Thank you, everyone who's contributed. It's been lovely to share those offerings with you. Thank you. So I'm going to hand over to Tony once again, who's got a few things to say. Tony.
Yeah. Can everybody still hear us? Give me a wave. Give me a thumbs up. Lovely. Oh, good, good, good. What a relief. One thing I wanted to say is that this will be the last One World Worship that we have Kate and Gavin resident here with us. I mean, they may join us online another time later. So they've been 2 of the household of 6 we've been during these last few months. Kate, of course, has been with us for longer than that. Been our housekeeper for 2 years and a quarter.
Yeah,
roughly that. And Gavin, her partner, been with us over the lockdown time, and we knew him a bit before that. We've got to know him a lot better. And you saw evidence of a particular thing that they have put great love and care and effort into in recent months. When we saw the photos of the polytunnel, thank you, as it began early in the year and as it is now. And not only the polytunnel, but other bits of the garden and in all sorts of other ways. They've been making a very practical, hands-on contribution. Of course, Kate has been helping us think through and prepare, think through how we stay COVID secure in these circumstances with her housekeeper's hat on, investigating all kinds of, oh, you should have seen her homemade wipes, special sanitizing wipes. When you can't get them, there are perfectly valid ways of making them at home. So we've had both the commercial ones and the Kate specials over these last few months. But we're going to miss them. They have other things to do with their lives now that they are planning a life together. Do you want to say a little bit about what you're hoping to do? Where you're hoping to go? People will wonder.
We are initially going to move into Gavin's flat. He lives in Dorchester, not far from actually a place called Charlton Down. And we've decided recently that we're just going to do that and to move out of here and see how that goes for a while. And then, yeah.
Oh, that could be funny.
And then we will purchase a house together, but I don't know where that'll be. So lots to look forward to.
And it's meant to have a bit of land attached, so you can do
grow my own.
even more than what you've been doing in our grounds.
I'm definitely a polytunnel. Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
So more home for grown vegetables.
Yeah.
Great. Well,
Lovely.
we wish you every good thing as you go, and they're here till about the end of this month, but you won't be seeing them sat round this table in the near future after that. And I should say that, in fact, this will be, we have this one-word worship. There won't be a one-word worship at the beginning of September. So the next one will probably be the first or second Sunday of October. But we'll tell you about that, the date for it, in the newsletter nearer the time. And as on previous months, when we finish in a few minutes' time, if you want to stay on and chat, we'll keep the Zoom open for, I don't know, as long as people are happy still to chat. So there's no need to rush away, but we understand if you do need to go. We're going to finish with a second song, which many of you will know, and the words are very simple. I put them in the newsletter, so you may have seen them there, but I'll just repeat them to you. And this has been a favourite Othona song of blessing, certainly since the 1970s. And the words are, may the long-time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide you all the way on. So we'll sing that, I don't know, 3 or 4 times round, shall we? And you can join in at home. I know many of you are familiar with this song, and if you're not, you'll pretty soon pick it up. So, may the long-time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide you all the way on. May the long-time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide you all the way on. May the long-time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide you all the way on. May the long-time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide you all the way on. Well said.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for being with us today. I'm going to ask Kate and Gavin to blow out the candle now, and then we'd love those of you who can to stay and chat with us for a little while afterwards, as Tony said. So
I would like a special request. I would like all of us to blow the candle all together.
Okay.
Can you come out there?
Come on, Robin.
Robin.
Robin's going to join us.
That's nice.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.